Black America is at a crossroads. We will either rise in power or rest in piss. I'm Brian Gumbo Freedman, and this is our IP. Black America. Today we honor our Freedmen Patriots. It is indeed a proud moment to acknowledge and pay tribute to the Freedmen Patriots saints who have made a significant impact in shaping the history of this country. Their bravery and determination in the face of immense odds make them true heroes who have earned the respect of generations. They fought in the Civil War, or trained the soldiers who did, and their contributions to the cause of freedom and justice are truly commendable. Today, we not only honor these heroes but also take the opportunity to introduce them to many who may be unfamiliar with their legacy and sacrifices. So, here are 4 Freedmen Patriots you should know about. Alright, let's get into this. Freedmen Patriot number 4, Moses Dickson. Moses Dickson was a prominent figure in the anti-slavery movement in the United States in the 19th century. He was a minister, soldier, and abolitionist who founded the Knights of Liberty, a secret society aimed at freeing slaves and helping them escape to freedom via the Underground Railroad. Imagine that black freedmen had secret societies back then. The Knights of Liberty would make as an excellent spy-type movie. All my freedmen filmmakers need to jump on this right away. It will be more awkward than a giraffe with no neck if Tyler Perry gets his paws on a Knights of Liberty film. Don't believe me? Imagine Medea playing our great patriot freedman ancestor Moses Dickson. Are y'all with me now? Okay, let's get back to business. Moses Dickson claimed to have trained over 47,000 men to fight in the Civil War. Additionally, he founded a self-help organization for freed slaves called the International Order of 12 Knights and Daughters of Tabor and was a co-founder of Lincoln University in Missouri. Okay, Moses Dickson was an extraordinary man by anybody's definition. Even a mouth-frothing bigot would have to admit that. I'll bet my whole salary to those pea-brain bigots. Back in his day died from envy, seeing this black freedman's accomplishments. He is basically Professor Xavier, and checks off the boxes. Professor Xavier trained gifted soldiers like the uncanny X-Men. Moses Dickson trained gifted soldiers to fight in the Civil War. Here is proof. President Lincoln said, and I quote, "Without the military help of the black freedmen, the war against the South could not have been won." Check. Professor Xavier founded the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning, also known as Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Moses Dickson co-founded Lincoln University. Check. See y'all, he is Professor Xavier before Professor Xavier. All you racist comic book types, don't try to argue with me in the comments section. I'll block you. I'm only joking, please leave your thoughtless comments, it only makes me laugh and maybe it will help this video out with the algorithm. Coming up at 3. Our Freedmen Patriot, Martin Delany. Martin Delany was a prominent figure in the abolitionist movement. He also worked as a journalist, physician, soldier, and writer. Mr. Delany was a warrior scholar in the truest sense. Who does he remind you of? If you're drawing a blank, I guarantee before I'm done it will be as obvious as a stop sign. Let's continue. Martin Delany is considered by many to be the originator of black nationalism and was known for his use of the slogan Africa for Africans. He envisioned setting up a settlement for African Americans in West Africa and visited Liberia, but returned to the US when the Civil War broke out. Okay, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'll go ahead and put it out there. Martin Delany was the Black Panther, roughly a full century before Stan Lee dreamed up the King of Wakanda. Although he had no kingdom to rule over, Delany mirrored T'Challa in quite a few ways. T'Challa was an intelligent scientist, who was also a warrior. Delany was a journalist, physician, and soldier, an officer in fact. If you want to debate me on this, the comments section is waiting. Until then, I'll wrap up my commentary on this great Freedman Patriot. Martin Delany joined the United States Colored Troops and became the first African American field grade officer in the Army. After the war, Delany settled in South Carolina, working for the Freedmen's Bureau and becoming politically active. Delany ran for lieutenant governor as an independent Republican and served as a judge, before being removed from his position due to scandal. He eventually joined the Democratic Party and worked for the campaign of Wade Hampton III. Despite facing setbacks, none can deny the astonishing life and legacy of Martin Delany. I mean, you could try to deny Delany's greatness, but you would come up short like Kevin Hart standing in an NBA lineup. We are down to number 2. Prince Rivers was a freedman and soldier from South Carolina, who served in the Union Army and as a state politician during the Reconstruction era. He had escaped from slavery, joined Union lines, and eventually became a sergeant in the 1st South Carolina Volunteers. Side note: as we rediscover our Black American freedman story, you will begin to see a common thread, that many of our freedmen ancestors successfully escaped bondage and emancipated themselves, long before President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Now back to the story. Prince Rivers was highly literate for a freedman at the time, joining the Republican Party and becoming a delegate to the 1868 South Carolina Constitutional Convention. He was also one of the 3 American freedmen founders of Aiken County, SC in 1871, and served as the state legislator from the county through 1874. That's what you call boss moves where I'm from. Colonel Thomas Wentworth Higginson, a Boston abolitionist, chose Rivers to head his company due to his administrative and authoritative abilities. Higginson also noted that Rivers had an indefinable magnetism, suggesting that his influence over his troops was due to more than just his abilities as a leader. I couldn't quite put my finger on it until now, but if I'm going to continue with the Freedmen Patriots as Marvel Heroes theme, standing before a jury, I would not be perjuring myself to say that Prince Rivers had that Tony Stark swag minus the iron suit. All in all, Prince Rivers was a remarkable figure and a vital part of the freedmen's struggle for civil rights and liberties during Reconstruction. He is remembered for his contributions to the Union Army and the state of South Carolina, as well as for his dedication to the cause of freedom and equality. Before we get to our Freedmen Patriot number 1, I want to let you all know about this amazing system I feel many of my viewers wouldn't mind hearing about. It's important for Black people to prioritize self-sufficiency and independence, and embracing an off-grid lifestyle can be a powerful tool in achieving that goal. If you're interested in learning more about off-grid living and self-sufficiency, I highly recommend checking out The Self-Sufficient Backyard for the Independent Homesteader, the only book you need to become self-sufficient on 1/4 acre. The link is in the description. This comprehensive guide provides valuable insights and practical tips on how to live sustainably and independently, covering topics such as growing your own food, generating your own energy, and reducing your dependence on the systems that have oppressed and continue to harm us historically. By embracing self-sufficiency through sustainability, we empower ourselves and our communities. Let us take the initiative to build our own power and success using tools like off-grid living. If you decide to snag that book, I'd get a mini commission that would seriously go a mile at aiding me in crafting even more dope content that gives voice to our Black American freedmen fam stories and educates us all. I saved the best for last, in my humble opinion. At number 1, our freedman patriot Robert Smalls, a man we should all hold to the highest honors. Robert Smalls was born into slavery in 1839 in Beaufort, South Carolina. As a child, he worked as a house servant and was later sold and forced to work on a Confederate ship as a wheelman. Despite the oppressive conditions of slavery, Smalls was determined to gain his freedom. In the absence of the white captain and his 2 mates, Smalls and a crew composed of fellow slaves commandeered the CSS Planter while it was docked in Charleston Harbor. Smalls, who was familiar with the harbor, expertly navigated the ship past Confederate fortifications and out to open sea, but not before picking up his wife and children, where he then surrendered the ship to the Union fleet. But wait, there's more. He then convinced President Lincoln to allow other blacks to join the Union Army and fight for their freedom as freedmen. He then went on to enlist over 5,000 black soldiers into the Union Army. Smalls' actions were a bold and daring move, and his bravery and ingenuity earned him accolades from both the Union Army and the American people. The incident was widely reported in the press, and Smalls became a hero and symbol of hope for the anti-slavery movement. Believe it or not, Robert Smalls was just getting warmed up. He was involved in roughly 17 successful military expeditions and was promoted to the rank of captain. I bet you guessed where I'm headed next. Robert Smalls was our Freedman Captain America. After becoming the Freedman Captain America, Smalls served with distinction throughout the remainder of the Civil War. After the war, he became a successful businessman, and just like with a remarkable number of our freedmen ancestors, Robert Smalls went from chains to Congress. He served 5 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives. South Carolina saw a decline in progress after Smalls left office, but the state reversed Reconstruction advancements through a new constitution and restricted voting rights for black individuals. The book The Bloody Shirt, Terror After the War highlights the overlooked domestic terrorism during this time and is available in the description. Smalls' story is a testament to the power of determination, courage, and perseverance. Despite the odds against him, he fought for his freedom and became a symbol of hope and inspiration for others. His legacy continues to inspire people to this day, and his bravery and dedication to the cause of freedom serve as a reminder of the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and achieve great things. Okay folks, that's a wrap on our Freedmen Patriots video. These real-life heroes are just as amazing as any superhero out there, and I hope my informative and entertaining comparison has lit a spark under your seats. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and check out the article that inspired this video in the description. And if you're feeling all fired up for more commentary from yours truly, hit that subscribe button. I'll be bringing you even more inspiring stories from the world of Black American freedmen. Until then, RIP, Black America.